I was a horrible mother. Horrible. I was a great father.
Ooh, hold on. No, we gotta unpack that.
I
Meaning
was a
what?
horrible mother, meaning when my kids were growing up, I didn't know what mothering was. I didn't understand it. And because the father wasn't in the home
Right.
in a positive way, I did the providing, I did the protecting, I did the guiding, and I didn't do the nourishing, the nurturing, the affirming. I didn't do that. I didn't have time. I had 3 kids and a job
Right.
and a crazy man. So I had to protect them. I had to provide for them. I had to get the rent paid. I had to make sure that they had structure and system. The things that the father would have done had he been there, I had to do. So I didn't have time to wipe boo-boos and bake cookies and tell you how cute you are and how much I love you. Come on, let's get this done. We got to go.
Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. This is basically titled Cosplaying Fatherhood. Shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to Ayanna Van Zandt. I forgot the young lady that Cam and her went viral. I was like Dr. Brian, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but this is a problem that's been going on for a very long time. You know, when you used to hear the phrase "I'm the mother and the father," what you were basically hearing women do is they were cosplaying fathers, and nobody was there to say you're not a good father that you're trying to be. And the issue becomes, as Ayanna Van Zandt said, she wasn't a good mother because she was a good father. And why I'm saying cosplaying is because you're not a lot of these mothers in this position, y'all are basically trans parents. Basically, you're going to pretend to be something else because you're not being what you are. So, you're pretending to be a father and you're doing a horrible job at it. You're basically a stud. You're a stud version of a father, right? I'm a dress like this and I'm gonna have these mannerisms, but now you like the young ladies that's on the internet, but I don't want to be a stud no more. This is crazy. So this is why you have all these breakdowns in the household, because you're not being a mother, you're cosplaying being a father, and you're not a good actor. And I don't know why, but how many of these kids had already figured out a long time ago, oh man, mama trying to be, I don't know what she trying to do, but I'm not even paying attention to any of this. And this is what I mean about cosplaying. I provide, I protect, I guide, blah, blah, blah. And I said this recently in a live. Modern day women and modern day single mothers, modern day women in general, they don't have a moral compass. Y'all don't actually have a code of ethics. So there's not a negative deed that women do in this modern time that women can collectively say, we're women, we don't do stuff like that. There is not a negative activity that at all, and even and especially when it comes to interacting with men. So when taking that framework and putting it into parenting, it means that's why these kids have a lot of gray area. They don't have a right wrong dynamic. They have a gray area dynamic, because a lot of you mothers who are cosplaying fathers, y'all live in gray area because you've got away with so much BS, because guess what? You've been able to be, out of line, out of pocket, dead wrong. So the best you can do as far as parenting is concerned, when you're trying to take on a quote unquote masculine role, you're cosplaying. That's all you're doing. You're cosplaying. So now, you know, what is the issue? I think back in the day, Kevin Samuels kind of made it famous, but we talked about this in the Black Manosphere years ago. What you're doing is being a halfway mother, cosplaying to be a halfway father. So you're not being whole at anything. You get what I'm saying? So basically, you're a halfway parent because because you don't actually balance anything out. You imbalance everything. So the kids come out imbalanced. And you see this usually in retrospect on the back end because you see the mother saying, I messed up, I made some mistakes, I was doing this, I was doing that. I didn't get, I probably shouldn't have did this or shouldn't have did that. I was stressed out. And it's like, no. You took on a role that you made up in your mind. And the reason why I brought up that is because I want to say to Dr. Bryant, the lady that Cam talked to recently that went viral. They have that clip of her saying that when women get with men, they already have an idea of a fantasy of what a husband is. So they try to fit their man into their idea, their fantasy of a husband, and he don't fit their fantasy. That's where all these problems come from. And that same dynamic happens when these women are cosplaying, these mothers are cosplaying fathers. They have a fantasy of what a father is. So they're going to cosplay that fantasy. The same way when we talked about mothers turning their sons into simps because they're trying to mold them to be the type of man that would save them in the current situation that they're in. But at the same time, they know women aren't attracted to the guy that they're trying to mold him to be because as a mother, she's not attracted to that guy. She's attracted to the savior complex or the savior idea, but she's not attracted to that guy as a man. So these are the consequences of cosplaying fatherhood. And at some point, it needs to be said, it needs to be stated, it needs to be addressed that, a woman can't raise a boy to be a man, but at the same time, a woman cosplaying as a father ain't gonna be able to raise a daughter right either. It's not gonna happen. Because, and I talked about the legal system in the sense when I did a live recently, women, especially single mothers, they break the law all the time. They break agreements all the time. So you're not accustomed to being held to a moral standard or ethical standard. So the idea of having a father's stoicism and morality and ethics is not going to exist because you're already taking advantage of the family court system and the legal system to be in a position to cosplay a father in the first place. So you're basically setting yourself up for a disaster on the back end. But guess what? It's illegal that you can do this. And, everybody else is going to have to deal with the fallout per se, but not you. Because nobody asked the question, why did you choose to cosplay in the first place? And usually the bottom line answer is because they don't want to be a full mother. That BS of I've never been it, so I can't see it. You can't say that with mothers and single mothers. You can't say that because you've seen a plethora of single mothers. And there's really no framework for a single mother to be mothering anymore. It's just I do whatever the F. It's basically a hodgepodge. I do whatever the F I want. That's it. Because there is no consequences. There's no blame. By the time there's blame to be put on a situation, the kids are adults. So to me, there's no such thing as a mother being a great father. You're just cosplaying and you're doing a bad job. And you're trying to give yourself credit because you failed at being a mother. So you're going to give yourself a passing grade at cosplaying and being a father. But that's just my idea of it. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take it.